Hello, everybody, and welcome to basketball night for the Hoosier State Instigators. Game 7 rematch, first rematch, I believe, of the year, right?
Believe
No,
so.
it's second because we played Peoria. So we're coming off the last loss to Peoria to make us 3-3. We're playing Indiana Legends for about the 100th time, it feels like, but really, I think it's the 5th time. Is that right? 5th time? 3 times last year. This is the second time this year. Indiana Legends traveling this time to Best Choice Fieldhouse. Take on your Hoosier State Instigators. I'm Frosty. Jakey Muffin's with me. Jakey, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. It's always a fun in-state rivalry, a friendly rivalry between these two Indiana-based teams. The Instigators, they look to continue their streak. Every game so far has been won by the Instigators against the Legends.
That's right. We had the 2 regular season games last year. The play-in game, first round, giving the Instigators the win, and our home away from home in Bedford, Indiana, there at the IBL. So really excited for this game. I got to tell you, the Legends, we saw them the first time around. We won that game. The game was really close for a lot of the game until we pulled it away at the end. A much improved team are the Legends this year. What are you looking forward to most during this game?
Yeah, you definitely mentioned it. Legends are a new and revamped team for this year. But any game we play the Legends, we've seen they're a team that can get hot, from beyond the arc. That's one of the key things we always watch for in those matchups is to try to limit those opportunities beyond the arc.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the Instigators this time last year were 1-5. This year, 3-3, looking to get back over 500 again this year. What do they need to do tonight to beat the Indiana Legends?
Yeah, I mean, we're in a lot better spot compared to last year at this point, but I think it always comes back down to fundamentals. We've seen throughout the season that's kind of been the key that we're trying to improve upon is limiting our turnovers, improving our defense, and making the easy shots and free throws.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. Notoriously bad free throw shooting team, right around 60% lifetime. Turn the ball over at a clip of about 25 a game. So those are definitely huge keys for us, something we got to get better at. Also, want to see some improved defense. You and I have talked about this every broadcast. Instigators yet to hold a team under 100 points. Now, I know the ABA rules are different. They really enhance scoring in the ABA, but even still, would love to see the Instigators at some point hold a team under 100. I'm going to keep saying it every week until that happens. It's something that we're striving toward. I know defense is a big part of Coach Dobbs and her philosophy. So hopefully, that's something that we work on. We have a couple of key instigators out this game. Brandon Smith, unfortunately, with a finger issue, out this game. We have Dylan Ware unavailable for this game as well. 2 huge keys to the game for us. I think Damian Wilburn also out for this game, who's really been a huge leader on the court in that point guard position. We've seen him. I think he's leading the team this year in assists, almost nearly leading the central region in steals. Excuse me, really providing a spark on both sides of the court. Those 3 guys for sure going to be missed. Who are you looking forward to step forward this week and take in kind of the spot that those guys are going to leave voided?
Yeah, I think we've seen early in the season some of our new guys have stepped up. LB is always a player, Lawrence Boyd, somebody that normally comes off the bench, but every time he comes in, it provides an offensive spark. And then
Mhm.
we've seen, you know, just overall the team has stepped up. Like you said, the defense, we've implemented a few different defensive types, and I think with the ABA rules, that press is something I also want to look for in this game.
Yeah, and big game also meant to mention Alex Brown out this game. Big game for Anthony Williams to play in this week to show, one of our young guys, one of our rookies to show really that he belongs in that center position. Big body, strong guy. Hoping to see a lot from him, a little bit more assertiveness. So that's pretty much it for us. So we'll take it out to the game here. But first, let's break it down for folks. Remind them of the unique rules that make the ABA what it is. So we'll be back right after this. All right, everyone, welcome to Best Choice Fieldhouse. We're going to apologize now. Apparently, the sound didn't come through on the recording. It did on the live stream. So, those of you that are subscribers to our Patreon, first of all, thank you for being subscribers. Second of all, hope you enjoyed the game. Jake, you were actually at this game this week. How pumped were you to be back in Fishers, Indiana?
I was. It's always fun, being there in person at the venue at Best Choice Fieldhouse in Fishers, Indiana. I make that trip up from Florida there. I try to do it at least once a month, but it is always a loud and fun atmosphere. And all the fans, they get courtside seats. Everybody's got a front row view, and they're always involved with the game as well. It's always a fun environment there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was great having you there as well. It gave us an extra bit of security here in case, fans storm the court or anything like that. Didn't happen. So you lucked
Yeah.
out there. But meanwhile, looks like the instigators are about to take the court here as we see Malcolm Martin's daughter waving to her dad. Always cool to see there with the clappers. The fans, again, unique environment for a pro basketball game. Fans are courtside, much like Spike Lee at a Knicks game, or Jack Nicholson at a Lakers game. All fans are there. Tickets are only $10 for adults, $5 for kids. Make sure you get out to Best Choice Fieldhouse and watch the game live. And if you're across the country like Jake in Florida or anywhere else, make sure you subscribe to our Patreon. $1 a month gets you free access to all of our games live streamed as they happen. So you don't have to wait for these YouTube videos, although we appreciate those of you that watch these each and every week because we know you do. All right, looks like we're about to tip off here. Hoosier State Instigators in white, Legends in purple and black. I really do like those purple and black uniforms that the Legends are sporting this time. As we see JoJo Hart swinging it around here. Over to Anthony Williams. Vontae Nelson with the pump fake. He takes a shot. It doesn't go in. So our starters are Joe Bird, the original signing of the Hoosier State Instigators, followed with JoJo Hart, a returning player from the Instigators from season 1. They're teamed up with 3 first-year players for the Instigators. We talked about Anthony Williams, Malcolm Martin as well, who's been a leader on the court, and the guy that just doesn't seem to miss, Levante Nelson, rounding out your starting 5. The Instigators get the ball swinging around here. And that's a quick 3 answer there. Apologize for the scoreboard as well. We'll give you the score updates periodically as we get them. All kinds of streaming issues apparently with the recording this week. So we'll make sure that we get those straightened out for next week. Instigators up 3-2 until that bucket goes in to make it 5-3 in favor of the Legends. So early on, Instigators give up 2 quick buckets. Not looking good on the defensive end, Jake.
Yeah, and we see it looks like a few long range shots for the instigators here early in the game, but get a ball out of bounds there. Stays with the Legends, I believe.
It sure does, and they'll bring it in. Yeah, already 1 for 3 from 3-point range. The Instigators can get hot from behind the arc. They can also settle into just honestly settling for 3-point shots when they could probably get better shots. And so we'll see, the positive and the negative with the deep ball for the Instigators as JoJo Hart shoots another 3. That's 4 straight 3-point attempts for the Instigators. Joe Bird with the rebound. I will tell you, Joe was questionable going into the game today. Joe actually sustained an injury at work. Our players, like all ABA players, work 9 to 5 jobs as well as, by night, like Batman, living out their basketball dreams. Joe had stitches put in his arm. So if you see that wrap there on his forearm and his wrist, those are concealing stitches there for Joe. We'll see if those will impact his game at all. But man, what a tough guy. The Legends swinging around here. They'll shoot the 3 and they'll can it. That puts them up. I'm sorry, that was a 2, 9-3 early for the Legends who have come out hot. Instigators, not so much. Another piece of note here, just for folks that weren't at the game, we get to fast forward it through the power of television. The game was delayed roughly 25 minutes, 30 minutes due to traffic for the referees coming from one game to another. So maybe that's a reason the Instigators are a little cold here, is they're down 12-3 here early in the first quarter, about 3 minutes gone by. But definitely right, Jake. You have your pregame routine. You're out there warming up, and then you find out just as you're warmed up and ready to go, you got to wait another half hour.
Yeah, and I can confirm there was a bit of traffic when I was on my way to the game, so it is a legitimate reason for that ref.
Yeah, absolutely, and we know he was doing the best he could to get there. It's a hard life for referees in these leagues. They work multiple games. They're not like NBA refs, that make a living off of reffing one game a night. The referees for the ABA often do high school, they do youth leagues, they do tournaments, they do men's leagues. So they're reffing all over the place during the weekend, usually keeping pretty busy. So it's a tight schedule as it is. And 465, the loop there for those of you that live in Indianapolis know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to hit immediate timeout, however. Instigators down quite a bit here, almost double digits. We'll be back right after this with a message from some of our sponsors.
Mission 22 is dedicated to unite the country in the war against veteran suicide. Bringing our veterans home is every American's job. Ambassadors are creating impact in their community across the country. Mission 22 has comprehensive treatment programs for post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury at no cost to veterans. This is an American issue. No matter where you stand, there's a place for your support. Visit mission22.com to learn more.
All right, we're back here in Best Choice Fieldhouse. 9 minutes to go. So that was a timeout, not immediate timeout. I apologize. Instigators down 12-3. So it looks like an early timeout by the Instigators as they reset the shot clock here. But slow start here for the Instigators. As you said, Jake, a lot of long range shots, not many of them falling.
Yeah, and always a double-edged sword, with the three-pointers. When you make them, it helps put you out by a lot, but when they're not falling, it can definitely lead to these runs for the other team.
Absolutely. And no Dylan and no AB and no Brandon this week. That's quite a bit of size, that isn't there. So relying a lot more on guard play this week. And, with guard play comes a lot more three-pointers. So hopefully the Instigators will get hot soon. But meanwhile, the Legends are certainly hot as they go up 14-3 here with about 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. JoJo Hart brings the ball up. He finds Anthony Williams, who finds a cutting Malcolm Martin, who puts it in. And no, he gets called for a charging foul. So he'll turn the ball over. Doesn't agree with the call, but the Legends will get the ball nonetheless. They're on a close athletic play by both guys, and unfortunately doesn't go the way of the Instigators this time around. Legends inbound the ball. They'll bring it up. Number 2, Peterson here, one of the key players. As the Legends step out of bounds, one of the key players there, plays point guard for the Legends. Played well against the Instigators in every game we've played against them, so definitely a guy to look for. Joe Bird pump fakes. Those pump fakes sure are effective when your team's shooting as many threes as we are. There's another pump fake by Tay Nelson, who kicks it over to Malcolm Martin, who comes in. His shot gets deflected, but rebounded by JoJo Hart. Brings it back out for a reset. No, Malcolm Martin's going to take it right back in. He loses the ball. And a long pass there by the Legends and an easy 2. They jump out to a 16-3 lead. Not what we want to see from our Instigators early on. It looks like Lawrence Boyd, LB himself, the phenomenal rookie for the Instigators, an early 6th man of the year for the Instigators, in my opinion, looks to be coming up off the bench. We see him approach the scorer's table. Anthony with a lot of bank there. That was high off the glass. And he gets the Instigators only their second bucket so far in this game. Tipped by JoJo Hart, and he completes the steal and then gets fouled. So the Instigators will get the ball and they'll bring it in. But first, we'll get the substitution change as Chuck Bloom, one of the captains and key players for the Instigators, also checks in for Joe Bird. And it looks like Levante will stay in and Anthony will come out. But we'll hit immediate timeout, so we'll get all these changes under control. We'll be back right after this.
After a tough game, recovery is everything. At Fisher's Cryotherapy, the official cryotherapy provider for the Hoosier State Instigators, I use whole body cryo to reduce inflammation and recover faster. For injuries, their targeted treatments get me back in action. And when I want to look and feel my best, the cryofacial and infrared sauna do the trick. Fisher's Cryotherapy, my go-to for recovery. Book your session today.
All right, here. So, Jake, what have you seen so far in this first bit of play here with about 5 minutes gone in the first quarter?
Yeah, so far, I mean, the shots haven't been falling for the instigators. We do have a few guys out today. Um, you know, the delay as well. So hopefully it's just a little bit of a cold start here for the instigators. But props to the legends for the hot start here as well in the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been shooting really well. As we said earlier, Lawrence Boyd, Chuck Bloom, both in. Chuck's going to be playing the center position. He's a little undersized for a center, but he's strong and he did it well last year. As we see, another 3-point attempt doesn't fall, but JoJo gets his own rebound. He'll take it back up. That gets blocked, and the Legends play really good defense there. But the Instigators look to trap the attempt there, but they get the ball over to the Legends, and now they'll look to set up their offense. Peterson for three. He misses. Chuck with the excellent box out there and rebound. As I was saying, he's a little undersized, particularly height wise. Instigators miss another three and get their rebound. Lawrence Boyd with a great pass to Chuck, who misses the basket, and ball's turned over to the Legends. But he's strong and he knows how to position his body to get rebounds and get baskets under the hoop. So Chuck Bloom, more than capable center for the Instigators. As we're waiting for the inbound here, there it is. Legends look to bring it up. Instigators running that full court trap, as we talked about in the pregame. Something I know, Jake, you were interested to see. It's been their best form of defense all year. As we see Chuck with the steal. So he's got a rebound and a steal quick. Instant impact by Chuck Bloom. He kicks it around. Instigators shoot another three. That one's in and out. So, and then a foul by Lawrence Boyd. Would love to see the Instigators run some sort of offense besides catch and shoot. As we see some substitutions there for the Legends. Jake, I'd like to see more cutting in particular through the zone. Looks like the Legends are playing a zone. Cut through the zone, move some guys, overload one side, do something, set a screen rather than just passing around the perimeter and shooting, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so far not a ton of movement on the offensive side here. We got
The
another
Instigators turn it
turnover
over
there.
there. Another rebound for Chuck Bloom. He gets the long rebound there. So Malcolm Martin will bring it up now. Good pass inside. LB unfortunately misses it. Rebounded by the Legends. At least we saw there. We saw a screen. We saw a drive. We saw a pass. It just didn't fall. That was much better offense in that possession in particular.
Yeah.
And a steal by Chuck Bloom. So the captain putting in work here in the first quarter as Malcolm Martin gets the breakaway basket to give the Instigators only I believe that's their third basket of the night, Jake.
Yeah. And, maybe the defense is what's going to spark the offense here. As we see a stoppage there for a foul.
It looks like the Legends stepped out of bounds, so it'll be Instigators' ball, I believe. Nope, you're right. It looks like it is a foul. So we see the pass inbounds there. Bellamy, number 12, took that shot. It didn't go in, but he can shoot the basket from just about anywhere on the court. Good three-point shooter. Good down low. Good mid-range shot. Malcolm Martin misses the three. And Lawrence Boyd with the steal. This will be a 3D attempt. It gets turned over right away, however, and the Instigators do not score on the attempt for the extra point. Legends swinging the ball around. Tried to bounce it off of Krayshawn Hopkins, making his debut for the Instigators. He just checked in. He'll be wearing number 2 tonight. Plays guard and can play a little bit of small forward as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he looks. So with the Instigators, as we get the foul there, they'll go to the line. So because of the injuries and unavailability of some of the players, Instigators, who have a roster of 16, only had 11 available for the game. Had an open roster spot and thought they'd give Krayshawn a chance to see what he's made of to make the team. So he's playing with the Instigators tonight, making his debut. First game of this season where we haven't had a full complementary of Instigators players. So thanks for Krayshawn to step in there, but we Krishan, I should say. We see the shot there by LB goes in. Apologize to Krishan for mispronouncing his name there. Jeez. I'm a rookie at this, apparently. See LB going for his second free throw. And that one falls, so he hits both of those. That's a promising start for the Instigators from the stripe. Ball tipped out of bounds there by number 2. And it will stay with the Legends. Legends up 19-9 here with 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Absolutely one of the worst offensive outputs so far for the Instigators, but defensively hasn't been too bad. Would love to hold, obviously, if we want to keep that 100 intact, hold the Legends under 25 in this quarter. Got 4 minutes to do that. JoJo Hart puts that one in and gets the and one, so he'll go to the bucket. That was a great find by Lawrence Boyd. And so that'll take us to our next media timeout. So we'll take a quick commercial break and come back for more Instigators action.
Hey, it's Jakey Muffins here in warm and sunny Florida. But there's no place I'd rather be than at Best Choice Fieldhouse in Fishers, Indiana for the next Hoosier State Instigators home game. You can go over to www.apexofsports.com, click on the tickets link at the top of the page, and get your game tickets for our next home game. We have 3 and 5 game packages as well to help save yourself some money. I hope to see you at the next home game. And when you're there, be sure, as always, to be great and instigate.
Jake, I don't know who did your makeup for that commercial, but you looked awesome.
Yeah, well, it's the dealership. They always got somebody ready to put us on camera.
That's awesome. Well, Instigators down 10 here, down 8. I'm sorry, 19-11. A little under 4 minutes to go, 3:53. I'm hoping that you're right, Jake, that the defense will start to kickstart the offense. 11 points with 4 minutes to go. By far the lowest output for a team that's averaged nearly 130 points a game in its career in 1+ seasons.
Yeah, and I think that's something, especially with the ABA rules, if, we continue that press in the backcourt, that leads to more opportunities for that 3D rule and to get the potential extra point on a possession.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have found on both sides of the coin, honestly, that a 3-point or a 20-point deficit one way or the other, not that we're down 20, we're only down 8, but even as much as a 20-point deficit, which seems insurmountable in other leagues, is well within reach in the ABA. So there's no reason to panic here in the first quarter, down 8, 11-19. Hopefully we get some good offensive movement. We start with this free throw here from JoJo Hart on the and one. But hopefully we start to get some movement, some buckets to fall. So it looks like we're just getting everything situated here. And we'll get going for the last third of this first quarter. Here we go, JoJo Hart. No bounce, all net. That goes in. JoJo Hart, again, with that unique free throw, I don't know, tradition, I guess, where he doesn't bounce the ball in order to get his grip, like most basketball players, as we see a stop there by the Instigators. Lawrence Boyd shoots the 3. That goes out. Chuck tips it, but unfortunately it goes right to the Legends, who get an easy bucket. No, it looks like a foul was called, maybe. It was. So it looks like the Legends will get the ball. That was no bucket there. So foul must have been called way ahead. You'd like to see an advantage rule or something akin to soccer or hockey there for a team, wouldn't you, Jake?
Yeah, some kind of like clear path foul or something like that.
Yeah. But the Legends have it nonetheless. They get another shot at making a basket like they just did. But they step out of bounds instead. That's the second time that's happened. And the Instigators look to bring the ball right back up. Krishan brings it up. He kicks it over to LB. LB back over to Chuck. Chuck to Malcolm. Malcolm looks for somebody. He finds LB in the middle. LB's going to take the shot. And that doesn't fall. And the Legends are off and running. Another 3-point attempt. Off, air ball. And Hopkins has it. He'll bring it up. And it looks like Caleb Magruder's in the game, number 12 here on the point, as we see Chuck Bloom miss from in close again. Stolen 3D rule for Malcolm Martin. He misses. Chuck tips it. It doesn't go in. And Malcolm gets the other offensive rebound. So third time's a charm maybe here for the Instigators. Caleb puts it in. That's a 3-point shot. So there's that 3D rule come into effect, just like you said, Jakey Muffins. You see the Legends take another 3-point shot. Theirs are falling, and they're up 22-15 here, 7-point lead. Here in the dying embers, the last 2 minutes of the first quarter. Instigators surveying the court. LB passes up the 3. I think that's smart given how the game's been going so far, but he'll take that one and miss it. That shot wasn't even close, to be honest with you. The Legends will shoot a 3. They've been hot. They miss, however, and the Instigators are off and running. And that's a turnover. A little bit of sloppy basketball on both sides of the ball here. The Legends look to take it, and that ball gets knocked out of bounds by Malcolm Martin. Good defense by Martin. Will stop a for sure bucket and force the Legends to inbound the ball here with 1:42 to go in the game. As we see Rico Spikes check in here. And Captain America himself, Steve Rogers, number 20, the youngest instigator, I believe. Well, for sure the youngest instigator's on the court, but I believe it's Steve, although it could be Caleb it could be Caleb as well. I'm not sure. But anyway, Rico with the rebound. Best name in all of sports right now, Rico Spikes, for sure the ABA, as he looks to get the offense going. Caleb called to set a screen. He does. Rico takes it in. Ball's blocked. Normally, Rico's really good at those shots. Well, you got to credit the Legends defense for that stop there. Rico looks to get it up. He gets it to Caleb. Caleb puts that tough bucket in. So that's 2 tough buckets for Caleb Magruder. As you know, normally we run a fans man vote every week. This week we didn't run it because we didn't have enough players, frankly, available. So everybody on the roster that was available made the roster. No need for a fans vote. So make sure you check into our our Patreon. Cast your vote for our fans man vote when we need it. As we see a steal there. Blocked by the Legends and then tapped out of bounds. So the Instigators will maintain possession here. It's about 35 seconds to go. 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Caleb Magruder for 3. That's off. Rebounded, though, by the Instigators. They're kicking it around here, looking for a good shot. Lawrence Boyd takes the 3. That one's out as well. Instigators ice cold start this game. Down just 5, though, as they've managed to play good enough defense to keep themselves in the game, even without making a ton of buckets. As that rattles home. Instigators, as the clock winds down. Magruder hits the bucket, and that counts. Instigators bring it back within 5 once again, 24-19. That's the end of the first quarter. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back to break down all the action of the first quarter before heading to the second. Hey fans, it's Frosty, co-owner of the Hoosier State Instigators. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast, but I want to take just a few seconds to let you know about our fan voter tier on our Patreon. There you can find all kinds of cool stuff like behind the scenes footage of practices and tryouts, early access to games and podcasts, and much, much more. On top of that, you become an official fan voter of the Hoosier State Instigators, where you can make key decisions in running the franchise. Things such as what uniforms do we wear, who stays, who goes at the end of the season, evaluate the players and coaches, and make decisions that will impact this franchise for a long time. So this is your chance to get off the bleachers and into the boardroom with us, the Hoosier State Instigators, at www.patreon.com/Apex Athletic Collective. Hope to see you there. Well, 24-19 lead for the Legends going here into the second quarter. Jake, are you surprised the Instigators are only down 5?
I am. The way that game started off, the Legends were pretty hot when they were shooting, and quite the opposite for the Instigators. But that number we keep our eye on, that 100-point mark for the end of the game, right now, both teams are on pace to be under that. So good defensive effort, but offensively, definitely need to improve.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The Instigators, I believe 19 is the lowest they've ever scored in a first quarter. Instigators have never, as we get a turnover here by the Legends to start the game, or to start the second quarter, I apologize. But what I was saying is the Instigators have never allowed a team to score less than 100 and have never scored less than 100 themselves. So good and bad there. And so right now they're looking at the opposite of that good and bad here, barely holding the Legends under that 25-point mark at 24, but well under 25 for themselves. So hopefully they pick it up on offense quite a bit here in the second quarter forward. As I believe we got a foul call, so the Legends will bring the ball in. And they will. They'll inbound it here as we get a shot of part of the crowd. A kick out over there. They get a wide open three, do the Legends. It doesn't fall, but they get the rebound and not the putback. Good defense by the Instigators as Caleb Magruder brings the ball down. He'll kick it over to Rico Spikes. LB flashing through the baseline. Captain America with the shot. I talked to Coach before the game and said, what do you want to see from the youngster? Steve Rogers, as he's surely going to get more playing time with some of our bigs out. And she said, I want to see him shoot more. And we saw it there. We saw him shoot. It didn't go in, but it sounds like he's taking that advice from Coach. He's an excellent shooter, and he's got some great moves. So hopefully that'll pay off for him here in this game. As Rico Spikes misses the three, Instigators still can't buy a bucket. Legends pass the ball down low. They make the shot there. They're up 26-19 here. Just a minute gone in the second quarter. So you're starting 5 for the second quarter. It looks like we got Krishan, we got Captain America, Rico Spikes, Caleb Magruder, and Lawrence LB Boyd on the court. As here we go, another shot. And that's 2 for Steve Rogers. So 2 quick shots for Captain America. It sounds like I said, he's taken that advice to heart from Coach to shoot more. As a basketball player, I imagine you love to have that green light. So that bucket goes in. So the Legends continue to be hot here in this game. Up by 7. Rico Spikes with the screen. Instead, the pass to Rogers. Rogers hits a 3. That's 5 points in 2 possessions for Captain America. Legends inbound the ball. You see the pressure in the backcourt here by the Instigators. Legends struggle with it a little bit. They keep possession, though, and then unfortunately throw it away on a pass that's just behind the cutting offensive player. And the Instigators will get the ball. Down only 4 now, 24-28. Krishan directing the offense. A little bit of skipping time there, apparently, about 2 seconds. Boyd to the basket. His floater doesn't fall, but he gets his own rebound. Something he's been doing all season is hustling through the paint and getting those rebounds. Unfortunately, he turns the ball over there. The Legends get possession. Tip ball and a steal. Rogers passes it up. He finds Rico Spikes, who takes the bump, misses, but LB gets it, and it looks like they called a foul. So Spikes will go to the line for 2. Really impressed with Captain America so far, number 20. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a guy, we saw in some of our games over the summer. He's definitely a capable scorer, so it's nice to see him have that green light and, kind of lead that offensive momentum here for the Instigators.
Absolutely. He's got great handles, a good jump shot, and he can get to the basket, and he's tall enough to defend some of the biggest players in the ABA. So he's got a lot of upside, a lot of potential, and we're starting to see some of that come out here. As Spikes hits the first of his 2 free throws. He hits the second, so the Instigators cash in there and continue to trim that lead by the Legends here in the second quarter. Tip ball stolen. That's a 3D. Rico kicks it over to Rogers. Nearly loses it, but gathers himself, and now he's going to pass it over to Krishan to set up the offense. Kicked over there. Skaters moving the ball around the perimeter. Krishan looking to force one. Instead, he passes it over to Steve Rogers, who hits the 4-point shot. 3D rule, add one. That's the first 4-pointer of the game as the Instigators get another steal, and it looks like as Lance Hopkins is checked into the game as well. Steve Rogers is the spark so far for the Instigators here in the second quarter. Number 2 looking for someone to get the ball to. So here's where you'd like to see a lot more movement by the Instigators. Instead, everyone's just kind of standing around watching. But Lawrence gets the bucket there, so we'll hit our media timeout here at the under 8. This is Instigators basketball here on the Instigators YouTube channel. We're here in Best Choice Fieldhouse. Instigators up 33-28. What have you seen so far in the second quarter, Jake, that's led to the turnaround for the Instigators to take the lead?
Yeah, we've got some shots falling. I think, that offensive spark plug so far is definitely Steve Rogers. He's definitely helped cut down that lead. Nice couple of shots there. And the other thing is we've been able to take advantage of a few 3D opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. A 4-point shot is devastating for the opposing team. And we saw the Instigators hit one. Steve Rogers hit a 4-point shot on an excellent dish by Hopkins. Really momentum shifts for sure when shots like that fall down. So the Instigators look to continue this roll. Looks like they're rocking with the same 5 they went to the media timeout with. I think that's smart by Coach Dobbs. This 5 has been taking over the game during their time in. As the Legends inbound the ball. Skaters continuing that pressure there. 3-point attempt by the Legends. That doesn't fall. And Lance Hopkins with the rebound. Steve Rogers, nice pass there. Rico couldn't find a shot. He kicks it out. 3-point shot there by Krishan. That doesn't fall, and the Legends rebound the ball, and they'll look to set up their offense. Looked for the quick move, but the Instigators got back in time to slow them down, so they'll look to set something up. Bellamy with the basket. The left-handed lay goes, and they cut the lead to 3. Rico spikes out, and it looks like he was a little off balance there. That was definitely a heat check for Cap. Doesn't fall there, and the Legends will bring the ball up. Still down 3 here in the second quarter. Good job not falling for the pump fake. This is really good defense by the Instigators, making the Legends work. Get the shot up. That's a tough mid-range, and it doesn't fall. Cap gets the rebound. Instigators will look to turn defense into offense here. Good pass to Rico, and he gets the bucket. Thought he should have taken that straight up, but he did a good job positioning his body in the right way and held on to get the basket. So we see a turnover there by the Legends. So the camera catches somebody's eye over there. Lance with the 3. Lance is another player that Coach Dobbs told me she'd like to see be a little bit more aggressive and try to look for his shot a little bit more. He took one there. It didn't fall, But we want to see him keep trying that, keep going for those shots because they will eventually. He's too good of a shooter to miss. As the Instigators bring the ball back up. Turnover there, however, by Hopkins. So the Legends will look to bring it over. Nice steal by the Instigators. They'll bring it up. Good team basketball, but it doesn't fall. They get their own rebound, however. And that one does. So Boyd's second attempt goes in. 5:46 to go. Instigators extending their lead. Another miss by the Legends. So they're starting to go a little cold here as Cap does a good job to save it. And then he gets the assist there to Boyd. Those two are, in my opinion, the future of the Instigators. As Boyd gets caught with a foul there, and we'll hit a timeout. So I'll finish that thought when we come back. First time out here in the second quarter. We'll be back right after this.
Mission 22 is dedicated to unite the country in the war against veteran suicide. Bringing our veterans home is every American's job. Ambassadors are creating impact in their community across the country. Mission 22 has comprehensive treatment programs for post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury at no cost to veterans. This is an American issue. No matter where you stand, there's a place for your support. Visit mission22.com to learn more.
Thank you to Mission 22, our sponsor during the month of November for Veteran Appreciation Month. Also want to thank Fisher's Cryotherapy, the Stites family, for their sponsorship as well as Shep Quality Construction. So thank you to all of our sponsors. If you'd like to be a sponsor, check us out on Patreon and our website and give us a shout to sign up today to be a sponsor for the Hoosier State Instigators. While we're waiting here, Jake, I thought it'd be a good time to talk about our community partner program. Nonprofits who sign up, such as churches, school programs, youth leagues, bands, choirs, gymnastics, cheerleading squads that sign up as a community partner for us for one game, get $3 for every ticket sold in their honor as a joint fundraising opportunity, as well as the opportunity, if they raise the most funds for themselves out of all those groups, to have the celebrity player for that game. What an opportunity, Jake.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a fun opportunity to, be an actual part on the court with the Instigators as the celebrity player.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really important to the organization to make sure that we give back to the community. This is one way to do it. It's a program we'll be running all season long for our remaining 5 home games after this one. So if you're interested in becoming a community partner, reach out to the Instigators today through social media, email, or website, what have you, to learn more about that opportunity. Meanwhile, the Legends bring the ball up. They haven't had a ton of trouble, honestly, with that press, although they missed both shots there, but it has disrupted them from setting up an offense more often. So I would say mission accomplished there if you're an Instigators fan. Good kick out to Levante Nelson. He misses that. LB skies up but doesn't get the rebound. Instead, the Legends come down with it, and they'll bring it back up. Down 9, 39-30. So they missed the 3-point there. The Legends are going through a little bit of what the Instigators were going through as we get an offensive foul. Or I'm sorry, no, it kicked off the shot clock. The Instigators will get the ball, but their bucket's gone cold for them the same way it did for the Instigators there in the first quarter. Skaters looking to move. It looks like they got all 5 players on one half of the court, which is an interesting strategy. Rigo Spikes with the shot. That doesn't go in. And the Legends will bring the ball up. Long pass there, a little bit of a skip pass. Still looking to set it up. 8 seconds to go. Instigators playing really good defense, not giving the Legends an easy shot. 5 seconds on the shot clock. They just got to hoist one up. It doesn't fall, and the Instigators hold on defense and bring the ball back up for a quick transition. LB with the miss, but Levante Nelson gets it, and he nearly loses it, but holds on to possession and kicks it out to JoJo Hart, who resets the offense. Smart move by JoJo Hart, starting point guard for the Instigators, to slow it down and reset a little bit. Instigators look to continue to kick it around. And Tay Nelson gets that one to fall. I love how Tay used the rim as a defense against a block shot against the big man. Gives him room for the basket to go in, and now a steal by the Instigators. LB kicks it out. 3-point attempt there by Nelson. That falls. And the Instigators look to be creating a little bit of separation here with about 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. As that's a 3D. Instigators up 14, 44-30 here with a possession. Looking to get an extra point out of this one. Kick it over. And that's blocked, but the Instigators will maintain possession. Still a 3D rule. 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. And it looks like they actually called a shooting foul, so that'll be 3 free throw attempts on the free throws during a 3D for Lawrence Boyd. He misses the first one.
I think that's the first free throw we've missed so far in the game.
I believe you're right. So far, so good from the charity stripe. He recovers quickly, though, and hits that one. Let's see, Instigators up 15. They hit that bucket, go up 16 now. So Instigators have, much like the first game against the Legends, struggled early, but have turned it on. That's a 2-point attempt for the Legends. They make it a 14-point game here with just under 3 minutes to go in this first half. Rico misses. Good rebound by Tay Nelson. Underrated offensive rebounder is Nelson. So he shoots the 3 there. It doesn't fall. See a little bit of a skip there. I don't know if he's playing hopscotch or what, but whatever it was, it got the pass off, and the Instigators have the ball. Legends looking for a foul there. They didn't get the call. Nelson loses the ball, but he gets tipped out of bounds by the Legends, and the Hoosier State will keep the ball here with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Malcolm Martin checks in here. Takes over for Lawrence Boyd as we see the 3-point attempt by JoJo Hart doesn't fall. Number 9 with the shot. That goes in. Smith. He's a big addition for the Legends this year. Gives them that presence in the middle that they didn't quite have last year. They had a couple taller guys, but Smith is big and strong and can hit shots and moves pretty well as well. So someone to look out for here for the Legends. Good pass there by JoJo Hart. We get the foul. No, it wasn't a foul call. Rico misses the shot. Looked like a foul from this angle. Wasn't called, though. And the Legends take the shot and get the offensive rebound. Minute 25 to go. 46-34. 46-36, as that was a 2-point shot. And Skaters up 10. The Instigators look to set up their offense. A lot of this high-low action we're seeing here with the Instigators. As another clever bucket by Avante Nelson gets in. He is crafty around the rim, especially against a bigger defender. We've reached the final minute of this first half. Instigators up 12, 48-36. And they're going to call a foul on Malcolm Martin. Didn't like the way he rebounded that ball and boxed out. So instead, the Legends will maintain possession here. 47 seconds to go in the half. So this will be a side out on the foul call. The referee seems to be polishing the ball a little bit there, making sure it's not as slippery. Legends looking to go 2 for 1 here. Missed that shot. Nice rebound by Lance. Kicks it out. Vontae Nelson misses the 3, and the Legends bring the ball back up. Stolen by JoJo Hart. Both players go to the floor, and they call a timeout. Legends keep the ball on the timeout. So smart play by the offensive player to call timeout before a tie-up occurs. Possession arrow would have been with the Instigators, so they stop a turnover there. Do the Legends. So good for them. They're going to take a full timeout here. So we're going to take a full timeout, and we'll finish this last 30 seconds of the first quarter when we return.
After a tough game, recovery is everything. At Fisher's Cryotherapy, the official cryotherapy provider for the Hoosier State Instigators, I use whole body cryo to reduce inflammation and recover faster. For injuries, their targeted treatments get me back in action. And when I want to look and feel my best, the cryofacial and infrared sauna do the trick. Fisher's Cryotherapy, my go-to for recovery. Book your session today.
Instigators up 12 here, 25 seconds to go in the second quarter. Quite the turnaround for an Instigators team that only scored 19 points there in the first quarter. It looks like they're on pace, or they're at about 29 points above that. So definitely an offensive turnaround for the Instigators. Wouldn't you say, Jake?
Yeah, it seems like the two teams kind of reverse roles in this second quarter here. So we see the Legends, have only put together not too many points. What was
Yeah, I
that?
think that's 12 points.
Yeah, 12
Yeah.
points here in the second quarter.
Yeah, definitely interesting. To your point, defense definitely sparked the offense here in the second quarter, as the Instigators seem to be doing great on both ends of the spectrum there. So the Legends will inbound the ball after calling timeout to save a turnover. So they'll have some time on the clock here, about 13 seconds on the shot clock, to get some offense set up and get a bucket. And then your hope is the Instigators hold for the last shot of the first half. Legends take a 3-point shot there. That goes in. Nice shot by the Legends to get up to 39 points here. JoJo Hart looks to be bringing the ball up. He gets fouled, and the Instigators will inbound the ball. It's a good thing he got fouled. He was trapped pretty well over in that corner. He resets, though, gets the ball in the middle of the court, almost turns it over again, but instead Rico saves it. Nice job by Spikes. And he'll set up what looks to be the last shot of the half. Taken by Vontae Nelson. That falls. So the Instigators, with their second buzzer beater of the game, take the lead 51-39 at halftime. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back right after that to break down the first half's action here with the Instigators. So don't go anywhere.
Hey, it's Jakey Muffins here in warm and sunny Florida, but there's no place I'd rather be than at Best Choice Fieldhouse in Fishers, Indiana for the next Hoosier State Instigators home game. You can go over to www.apexofsports.com, click on the tickets link at the top of the page, and get your game tickets for our next home game. We have 3 and 5 game packages as well to help save yourself some money. I hope to see you at the next home game, and when you're there, be sure, as always, to be great and instigate.
And we're back here, Jake. Welcome back to the studio, or as we call it, the studio apartment here.
Yeah.
What'd you see that first half?
Yeah, both highs and lows for the Instigators. That first quarter really struggled offensively.
Yeah.
I think that's our worst offensive performance overall in a quarter. But defense, on the flip side, was strong. And then in that second quarter, we used that strong defensive momentum to turn into offensive points. And, the free throw line has also been pretty good so far for the Instigators.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job from free throws. Best defensive game we've seen from the Instigators, at least in a half in a while. Holding our opponents to 39 points is ridiculously low for an ABA game. So shout out to the Instigators doing that. Offensively, like you said, struggled in the first quarter, really turned it on in the second quarter. Played phenomenally, moved the ball, attacked the basket more, which I like to see. Shot less 3-pointers. We did hit a few threes. Particularly Vontae Nelson hit 2 there towards the end of the first half. That really helped us. But going from 19 points to 51 points, back on track to get over that 100. Still on track, as it looks like they just adjusted the scoreboard. A point was missing, so that's 40 points in the first half for the Legends, not 39. But we saw both ends of the spectrum, really Instigators basketball in that second quarter, clicking on all cylinders. One thing I did notice, I don't know if you noticed it, but our boy Joe Bird didn't play a whole lot in that second quarter. So I'll be interested to see, does he come back? Is the arm bothering him? What's going on there? But some guys definitely stepped up and filled in. I saw, for me, it was Vontae Nelson in the second quarter. In the first quarter, it was Steve Rogers really taking off. So for me, those are the kind of the two guys to watch in that first half. Anyone else I missed?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna echo Steve. I think when he came in and hit those shots, that really kind of flipped the switch, it seemed, for the Instigators. And then, making his debut for the Instigators, Krishan's had a pretty nice game so far as well.
Yeah, Krishan's played really well as a point guard. You can see him directing the offense, even in his first game with the Instigators, something you like to see at a point guard. So it's really fun to see how he does. He had some really nice passes in there, so I think he's going to look to set guys up. What are your keys to the game for the second half?
If we can keep that defensive momentum going, I mean, the object to win the game is to score more than the other team. So if they can't score, you're going to wind up winning the game, even if we do have some offensive struggles. But hopefully, we can continue to turn that defensive momentum into the offensive scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we'll get back out to the game. We don't want to take too long, but we do want to take a moment. Thank you to our Patreon subscribers who help make this possible. It's a really unique Patreon community in the fact that you get not just perks like watching the games live or, maybe some discounts on merchandise, but you actually help decide how this franchise is run. It starts with the fans, man. Coming up here after our 10th game of the season, we're going to have actual evaluations of the players and coaches that you and I, Jake, fill out as owners, but so do our fan voters at that $10 tier of Patreon. We have our fan voters meeting coming up in April that I'm really excited about. So if you're not a Patreon subscriber and you love basketball and you love the Instigators, this is something that you need to do. So thank you to all those names scrolling across the bottom. Thank you for being a Patreon subscriber. Thank you to those of you who are watching who are about to become Patreon subscribers. We also appreciate you. But any final thoughts, Jake, before we head back out to Best Choice Fieldhouse?
Yeah, no, I love that you mentioned that fan voter. I mean, that's really the basis of the Instigators. I mean, the logo, the name, the jerseys, everything is ultimately, a decision from the fans. Um, but no, it's always fun being at Best Choice Fieldhouse. So I'm glad I was there this weekend. If you have the chance, if you're in the area, definitely recommend coming out, getting those front row seats. All those seats are front row tickets to see your Instigators in action.
That's right. Awesome. Well, we'll hit a commercial break. We'll head back out to Best Choice for what I'm sure is going to be an exciting half. You don't want to miss it. Hey fans, it's Frosty, co-owner of the Hoosier State Instigators. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast, but I want to take just a few seconds to let you know about our fan voter tier on our Patreon. There you can find all kinds of cool stuff like behind the scenes footage of practices and tryouts, early access to games and podcasts, and much, much more. On top of that, you become an official fan voter of the Hoosier State Instigators, where you can make key decisions in running the franchise. Things such as what uniforms do we wear, who stays, who goes at the end of the season, evaluate the players and coaches, and make decisions that will impact this franchise for a long time. So this is your chance to get off the bleachers and into the boardroom with us, the Hoosier State Instigators, at www.patreon.com/Apex Athletic Collective. Hope to see you there. All right, we're back out to Best Choice Fieldhouse. Second half about to get underway. This is the first game of a 4-game out of 5 stretch. The next game, obviously, coming this Saturday against the #1 nationally ranked, undefeated defending champions, the Chicago Fury, who will travel for the first ever matchup between the Fury and the Instigators at all. And this game will be at Best Choice Fieldhouse. So that's not one you want to miss. But neither is the rest of this game, as we watch the Instigators with possession open up the second half after having a dominant second quarter performance. So the Legends now bringing the ball up the court, nearly a turnover there. Instead, they'll kick it around. Good job getting back by the Instigators, something they've done much better in this game. Malcolm Martin for the steal. He gets it, and unfortunately, no, they say he steps out of bounds, so that'll remain with the Legends. Much better job, as I was saying, Jake. The Instigators getting back on defense, not allowing a lot of fast break points in transition.
Absolutely. As we see, the defense continues to be the dominant side for the Instigators here as they continue into the second half.
And the Legends turn the ball over. Shot clock violation. I wonder if they thought if the shot clock reset on that out of bounds. It didn't, and it'll be Instigators' ball. A little bit of a mental error there by the Legends as the Instigators look to extend their lead. Rico Spikes looking for somebody. He finds Vontae Nelson posted up. Instigators up 9, 51-40. Or up 11, I'm sorry. Same score as halftime. Hey, Nelson missed the 3. Rebound. Nice job by Spikes, and he'll take it up. And he gets fouled, so he'll go to the line for 2. Nice follow-up by Rico Spikes. Something we've seen. I can't tell, Jake. Love to get your thoughts on this. More offensive rebounds this game for sure. Is it because we're missing more, or is it because we're putting towards more effort on the offensive boards? What do you think?
I think honestly, it's a little bit of both. Obviously, you have the more opportunities with misses, but definitely you can tell the guys are trying to get those second chance opportunities there as that first one falls outside.
So a missed free throw there by Spikes. So he'll take the ball back up for a second. He hits that one, and Skaters extend their lead to 12. Minute gone by here in the second half. Legends looking to run. You can tell the Legends want to take off. Instigators doing a good job of plugging up the holes there as we get a rebound by Anthony Williams. And JoJo Hart looks to set up the offense. Kicks it over to Spikes. Spikes giving some directions on the offensive end. Missed an opportunity there. It looked like Malcolm was open if we kick the ball around fast enough. Instead, Anthony takes it to the basket and he gets fouled. Good to see him being aggressive there and going towards the basket as the biggest player on the court.
Yeah, and nice to see the momentum there on the offense. Some more cuts here we see in the second half compared to the offense in the first half.
All right, Anthony looks set up. Skies that one up, leaves it just a bit short. That was a high arcing free throw, not flat at all, which is good to see. He misses the second as well. But rebounded, another offensive rebound. Vontae Nelson, who I told you has been an offensive rebounding beast in this game, gets another one. Spikes for 3. That doesn't fall. Rebound and blocked, unfortunately, for Anthony Williams. It was good to see him get under there and get the rebound, and attempt the basket. Fast movement by the Legends. They get the rebound there. A little bit of monkey in the middle there for Williams. He can't guard 2 guys at once, and that will go as a bucket for the Legends. We get a timeout here, it looks like. No, sorry, just looks like a injury timeout. Rico Spikes heads off the court, limping off, and so Chuck Bloom will check in for him. Hopefully Rico's okay over there on the sideline. Chuck Bloom down low, looking to post his opponent up. Takes it under. He almost loses the ball. Gets it back, however, and then he'll draw a foul. Good hard work there by Chuck Bloom under the bucket to go to the line for 2. Chuck Bloom takes his time here to make his shot. Puts it up, and he leaves it short. So the Instigators falling apart a little bit from the charity stripe, Jake. Maybe you jinxed them there in the halftime show.
Yeah, a little bit of the announcer's curse there.
Chuck hits that one. You could tell he was unsure of it the way he went to crash the boards, however. As the Legends will bring the ball in here, back down 11. Again, the Instigators with the full court press. Look to trap their opponent in the corner. Legends get out of it, though. Good block by Anthony Williams. The big man gets up and puts the ball down, and the Instigators look to score quick. And we get a travel by Vontae Nelson, and the Instigators will turn the ball right back over. Great play by the young man, though. So the Legends score there. 9 minutes to go. Here in the third quarter, JoJo Hart looking to set up the offense, slow it down a little bit. Instigators definitely running a more deliberate offense this time than the Legends, who are looking to push. Usually it's the other way around, Jake. We see a good trap in the corner there. And they say the Legends stepped out of bounds. That'll be Instigator ball. Great defense by the Instigators. We get a sub. And here comes Joe Bird for Williams, who played really well. It's good to see Joe back on the court. Looks like he's lost a little bit of that bandaging there, maybe trying to free up his wrist for his shot. Again, playing through those stitches. Congrats to him on his toughness, and hopefully it works out. As we see a good save by Vontae Nelson. Ball kicked out there to Malcolm Martin, who drives the hoop. He gets blocked, and the Legends are off and running. That goes in for the Legends, and they get the foul for the and one opportunity. Here with 8 minutes to go, 8:22 to go in the third quarter. It looks like Malcolm Martin is not happy with that call. I got to be honest, though, it looked pretty straightforward to me. So they'll attempt the and one here, will the Legends. They miss it. Joe Bird with the rebound. He'll check it out to Chuck Bloom. Looks to push it. Instead, he kicks it out to Joe. Can't quite hold on to it. Malcolm takes a little bit of a smack to the head, but the Legends miss the scoop shot and rebound by the Instigators. This game picked up speed out of nowhere, Jake. Nice pass by Chuck, and Tay puts it in to put the Instigators up 9, 55-46. As that ball gets knocked out of bounds, stay with the Legends. A little bit of a defensive switch as Malcolm comes up. Chuck drops back. Ball tipped, and they're going to call a foul there on Vontae Nelson, number 31. Instigators of they called a foul on 13 of the Legends, so the Instigators will get possession here. That's a 3D. Chuck Bloom hits it, but they call a foul, so Joe Bird will go to the line. Again, a little bit of an advantage play would have been nice there, but instead, I get why they don't do it in basketball. Don't get me wrong. We see the 3D light flashing over there. We get why they do it, but unfortunately, it would have really helped us. As we get a media timeout here, so we will also take a media timeout. We'll be back with more Instigators basketball after this quick break.
Hey fans, it's Frosty, co-owner of the Hoosier State Instigators.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast, but I want to take just a few seconds to let you know about our fan voter tier on our Patreon. There you can find all kinds of cool stuff like behind the scenes footage of practices and tryouts, early access to games and podcasts, and much, much more. On top of that, you become an official fan voter of the Hoosier State Instigators, where you can make key decisions in running the franchise. Things such as what uniforms do we wear, who stays, who goes at the end of the season, evaluate the players and coaches, and make decisions that will impact this franchise for a long time. So this is your chance to get off the bleachers and into the boardroom with us, the Hoosier State Instigators, at www.patreon.com/Apex Athletic Collective. Hope to see you there. All right, we're back to Best Choice Fieldhouse. Instigators up 55-46 here, 9-point lead. 8 minutes to go, a little less than 8 minutes, 7:39 as we see the future instigator or legend here taking some shots. Looks like a future legend. I believe he's actually either the coach's or the owner's son that took that shot. Good on him. It almost went in. He'll get it next time. Meanwhile, the Instigators about to shoot 3 free throws here on this 3D opportunity. Joe Bird with the free 3-throw attempts. 3 free throw attempts. Try saying that 5 times fast, Jake.
Yeah, a little bit of a tongue twister here, but the Instigators look to put themselves on the board here. A little bit of a slow start for the third quarter offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully they can get going here with these free throws. The good thing going for them is Joe Bird misses the first. It's been a rough free throw quarter for the Instigators. The one thing going for them, however, is they lead the foul count here 1-4. Legends have been called for 4 fouls, as we know, and we've seen a lot more this season. 8 fouls put you in the bonus. We see that shot made. The camera made that one exciting. Again, AI camera, robots don't always get it right, folks. Sorry about that, but Joe hits it. But as I was saying, we see, the consequences of those 8 fouls and getting to the bonus. So something important to watch for the Instigators is they put their lead back up to 11, 57-46. So playing pretty steady. Both teams kind of back and forth early in this quarter. As we see Malcolm fall. Good job by Chuck Bloom, I want to say. Often the Instigators create a foul there when they don't need to. Just let them get the bucket and move on. You're outnumbered. Chuck did a good job there of saving a foul and not getting the call by kind of moving out of the way. Chuck hits Joe. Joe misses that, and then Tay misses his. It looks like out of bounds will go to the Legends. I thought Joe was held there, but no call from the referee. As we see the Legends inbound the ball there. Running a little bit of a press break. And a travel call. And the Instigators look to quickly inbound the ball and keep us going here. Good little give and go there by Chuck and Malcolm Martin as Joe Hart gets the ball set up here at the top of the key. Gets a screen by Joe Bird. Joe looks like he's open for 2. Instead, he's going to look to pass. Good recovery by the defense. Chuck with the up and under. He gets his own rebound, and then he gets... Oh, it looks like the shot clock didn't get reset. Did it touch the rim is the question. The referees are saying it did touch the rim on Chuck's first shot. Tough to see there, Jake. I'm not sure if it grazed the rim or not, but a lucky call for the Instigators nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, with that camera angle, it's not too definitive that it looked like it hit the rim there. So maybe the benefit of the doubt there.
Yep. But the Instigators will get the ball with a refresh shot clock and 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Instigators up 57-48. So another slow offensive quarter, as you said, Jake, for both teams. Instigators only scored 6, and as Chuck Bloom gets called with the offensive rebound. Instigators only scored 6 so far in this quarter, and only 8 for the Legends. So, 14 combined points so far in half a quarter by both teams. Sorry, they did not call the foul on Chuck. They called it on the Legends, so Instigators will inbound there. By the way, Chuck reacted. I was sure that was called on him, but clearly a miscommunication. As Joe Hart gets the ball slapped out of his hand, the ball will stay with the Instigators as they get another opportunity here in what's been a really sloppy third quarter. Inbound to Joe Bird. Joe finds Chuck underneath. Chuck's going to try to score here on the post. He misses, and it's rebounded by the Legends. Good job by JoJo Hart to try to get the rebound, but it wasn't to be. The Legends look to push the pace, something they've been trying all game. They get the foul call there, but honestly, it hasn't worked out well for them so far in this game to push the pace. But they'll get 2 free throws here. .605 left in the third quarter. A little bit of conversation going on between the coaches and the referees. That ball spins around and goes in. Talk about a toilet bowl shot, Jake. You don't see those very often these days.
Yeah, definitely, adding some entertainment value there with that one.
Hey, you get it all in an ABA game, folks. Make sure you come out to Best Choice Fieldhouse so you don't miss moments like that.
Yeah.
It's a slow third quarter, Jake. We got to hype up what we can.
Absolutely. It's there's also a lot of good defense too. So if you
That's right.
enjoy some good defense in basketball, you got that in tonight's action.
Absolutely. Or missed free throws. If you like missed free
Yeah.
throws, this is the game for you. At least this quarter. As we see Krishan checks back in for the Instigators. Chuck gets the and one. Nice bucket by Chuck. Good feed by Krishan. And the Instigators will go back to the line. Up 10, 59-49 here with 5:48 to go in the third quarter. So to your point, Krishan making it work on at point guard. Point guard probably the hardest position, wouldn't you say, to come into a team on short notice, cold to play at and be effective?
Yeah, definitely. The offense runs off of that point guard, so you gotta be quick with your decisions and kind of know where your guys are gonna be throughout the court.
That's right. Chuck misses that free throw. Joe tries to go back up. He misses there. Thought he got fouled, but good defense. I would say pretty vertical there by the Legends to avoid the foul. 3-pointer by the Legends. That doesn't go, and everybody rebounds the ball there. I think Chuck and Rico and Joe all touched it, and the Instigators will look to set up their offense. Joe Bird with the turnover. Joe's a great passer, but sometimes you get one of those every now and then. You'll live with him because he makes way more good plays than he makes bad plays. So camera shorts out a little bit there, and it looks like not sure if the bucket went in, but Rico bombs it down the court. And to Chuck Bloom, who I believe caught the ball. We'll catch up eventually. He did. Instigators have it. JoJo Hart has it here. Trapped a little bit, but he gets the ball out. It's a missed shot by Rico. Long rebound. The Legends bounce it off Joe Bird. I got to tell you, if you're looking to bounce it off somebody, Joe Bird's big body is the guy to aim for. He's tough to miss. And the Legends execute that perfectly to get the ball. 4:59 to go here in the third quarter. Instigators still up 10, 59-49. Only 8 points so far scored for the Instigators in this quarter. So if we thought 19 in the first quarter was low, hold on to your beer, folks. The Legends look to capitalize on the low offensive output by the Instigators. But to your point, the defense by the Instigators has been just as potent as the offense has been weak. So we see Rico there just a little too far. That's going to be, is that a 3D? We'll wait for the official call. I couldn't tell if Rico was over the line there. He was not. So they call that a 3D. Right call there, I think. It looked like he was just behind the line when he threw that. Again, you got to establish possession in the front court in order to avoid a 3D. Looks like they did it there as the Legends will inbound the ball in their own front court because of the 3D. And they're going to allow a substitute. So we have some conversation about whether or not a substitute is allowed. I'm going to be honest. I was asked this question during the game. I was wrong. I said I think a substitute is allowed. They are not in a 3D, so the referees get it right. And Joe Bird will come back on for the time being. And now it'll be no secret to anyone when Steve, Captain America, Rogers comes in for him later. So a 3D attempt here for the Legends, something they got to cash in if they want to keep in this game and start to crawl back. It's been played pretty evenly offensively and defensively here in the third quarter. They take the 3-point attempt. It doesn't go in. So, again, good defense. That was a tough shot for the Legends with shot clock winding down. So, good job by the Instigators. Play good defense. Chuck Bloom with the missed 3. Legends pick it up. They'll bring it up as LB is in the game. So, he subbed in at some point as Chuck trips up, and he looks like he's in a little bit of pain. He's limping off the side. So, Instigators temporarily down 4-5. Looks like we get a timeout here. And this will also be our media timeout. So we'll return after this with more Instigator basketball and hopefully more information on Chuck Bloom when we return.
Mission 22 is dedicated to unite the country in the war against veteran suicide. Bringing our veterans home is every American's job. Ambassadors are creating impact in their community across the country. Mission 22 has comprehensive treatment programs for post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury at no cost to veterans. This is an American issue. No matter where you stand, there's a place for your support. Visit mission22.com to learn more.
So 4 minutes to go, Jake, in this third quarter. Instigators have been outscored in this quarter 8-11. What's your take on that?
It's definitely a first. It's definitely not something I would have expected going into this game. I think all of our other games have been pretty high scoring between the Legends and the Instigators. So definitely not something I would have had on my notes going into this matchup.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And, as frustrating as the offensive output can be, the defensive performance by the Instigators has been really good. And for that matter, for the Legends, we have to give our hats off to the Legends. Played a really good defensive game that Instigators haven't in this third quarter. The first quarter is a little different. I feel like the Instigators had lots of open shots. They just didn't hit them. In this quarter, I don't feel like there's a ton of open shots as, holy cow, write this down, folks. Joe Bird out, Steve Rogers in. Didn't see that coming. But anyway, so hats off to the Legends who have played really good defense in this quarter as well. Instigators are one foul away from getting into the bonus, though. Great pass there by Krishan. He hits LB in stride, and Instigators go back up 10, 61-51. Great find there. See the Legends kick the ball around a little bit here. Trying to score in close. That doesn't go in. The rebound does. Instigators only up 8, 61-53. Sorry. 3:30 to go. LB looking around. He finds Captain America a little bit too far out for a shot there. He passes it off instead to Krishan, who gets the ball taken from him. He hasn't turned the ball over a whole lot, something you kind of expect to happen for a first game player, no matter what his experience is. And Krishan has plenty of basketball experience, don't get me wrong. But he's kept the turnovers to a minimum so far in his role as a point guard. Steve Rogers with the shot. He doesn't get it, but we get a foul after, guess who? Monte Nelson gets the offensive rebound. So that will now put, with the next foul, the Instigators in the bonus and put them at the line. So important foul call there as they reset the shot clock to 24 seconds. 3 minutes to go before we enter the last quarter of the game. Rico Spikes setting up the screen. Not a whole lot of movement here from the Instigators. Don't want to see this. Tay tries to push it. He doesn't quite get there, but Rico with the grab after Tay loses possession of the ball, and he puts it in. So way to clean it up. Great defense there by the Instigators, but the offensive rebound on the other end, and the Legends say, whatever you can do, we can do, well, just as good. I'm not going to say better. And Tay Nelson gets pushed. Do they call that a foul, or do they say he stepped out of bounds? They're going to call it a foul. The Instigators should go to the line here. And they will. So Vontae Nelson goes to the line for 2. As we see, the Legends were, again, that's their 9th foul of the quarter, puts the Instigators in the bonus. Vontae Nelson, a good free throw shooter, takes 2. Oh, no. Vontae, I'm sorry. That was me. That was my fault. That's a little bit of the announcer curse. He misses both of them. Something you don't see often. And the Legends race up, trying to get some quick offense. So we see the drive here, the shot from Harbor, number 13, a really solid player for the Legends as well. Can shoot it outside, can drive inside, plays really good defense. And he gets the bucket there. Instigators only up 4 now, 59-63, less than 2 minutes to go. Again, the Instigators have only scored 12 in this quarter. Tay with the shot, that doesn't fall. Legends collide into each other, but they get the rebound. We get a foul on Tay Nelson. The Legends will inbound the ball here. A minute 35 to go. So what was once a pretty decently comfortable lead, I think the Instigators were up by 14 by the most. At the most, are now only up 4, 63-59. So the Legends, much like they do, the Legends are a gritty team. They remind me a lot of the pros in this way. They don't give up. They don't go away. If you give them an opening, they're going to take it. And the Instigators have given them an opening in this quarter, and they have taken it. They haven't crawled all the way back, but they've played really well here in the third quarter to lower the lead of the Instigators and make this a close game. Missed the 3 there. Nice rebound by Captain America, who's having a really nice game. And he gives it up to Krishan. Krishan out to Tay, looking to post up his player here. He does. He misses, but the cleanup, the board and the bucket by Steve Rogers. Instigators up 6, 65-59. Legends trying to get a foul call. They don't get the foul call, however. Instead, they'll bring the ball up the court, get the easy layup. It doesn't go in, though. He had a clear path to the lane. It's just a little too hard as the Instigators bring the ball up. 3-point attempt, no good. Legends 3-point attempt, no good. And it looks like Hoosier State's going to slow it down for the last shot of the game. For those of you that just tuned in, the first quarter, the Instigators hit a buzzer beater. The second quarter, the Instigators hit a buzzer beater. Can they do it 3 in a row? That's what we're looking to see. Not quite a buzzer beater, but with 4 seconds to go, they get the basket. These late baskets have to be a crushing sight to see if you're the other team, as the Instigators are up 67-59 here, end of the third quarter. We'll be back with fourth quarter action here on the Instigators YouTube channel.
Hey, it's Jakey Muffins here in warm and sunny Florida, but there's no place I'd rather be than at Best Choice Fieldhouse in Fishers, Indiana for the next Hoosier State Instigators home game. You can go over to www.apexofsports.com, click on the tickets link at the top of the page, and get your game tickets for our next home game. We have 3 and 5 game packages as well to help save yourself some money. I hope to see you at the next home game. And when you're there, be sure, as always, to be great and instigate.
back here to start the fourth quarter. Instigators up 67-59 against the Indiana Legends, a game that's been full of highs and lows for both teams. And we have what we kind of expected, Jake, a close game entering the fourth quarter.
Yeah, close game, not the score you would have expected. But, that's something to keep in mind here as we enter the fourth quarter. That possibility of the first game under 100 for, well, both offensively and defensively for the Instigators.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you and I are rooting for one and not the other, and I'm sure the Legends fans watching this game are quite the opposite. But the only way we're going to find out is to watch the next 12 minutes of basketball. So stay right with us as we're in for what I think is probably gearing up to be a pretty close run to the finish. The Legends will begin the fourth quarter with the ball, and they pass it in here. Looking to set up their offense. Instigators in what looks like a 2-3 zone or maybe a 1-3-1. Hard to tell here. Those of you who are basketball experts, probably obvious to you. Less so for me, as we see a foul call there by the Legends early, and the Instigators will get the ball. What's going on here? It looks like a technical foul called against the Legends. So the Instigators here. So something must have been said in that skirmish that we didn't hear, Jake, because of our sound issues. But the Instigators will take their technical foul shots and then get the ball back here. That one fails to fall. Instigators' free throw problems have been an issue in this half, Jake. That's, if by my count, the 7th and 8th missed free throw of the half for the Instigators. In a close game, such as this one, that's tough to swallow.
Yeah, I'll make a note not to mention that at halftime for the next game.
Yeah, please do. It's clearly your fault. So
Yeah.
the Instigators now bring the ball up. So no harm on that technical foul for the Legends. LB takes it up a little out of sorts there. Tries to get it to fall. It doesn't. He does get the steal, however, and the Instigators are on a fast break. Stolen back, and that'll be a 3D for the Legends. So an eventful first minute where no points have been scored by either team. The Instigators look to bring the ball up. Krishan looking to do some work here and say hits Malcolm in the corner. Malcolm for three, and he hits that. Instigators haven't been great from three-point range tonight, but that one was timely as it puts the Instigators up 70-59, back up 11. But the Legends, answer right back as Peterson, number 2, hits the three-pointer. And so we're back and forth, as we can tell, 70-62, an 8-point game. Been hovering between 11 and 8 for the better part of 15 minutes here. We see the ball taken away there, but stays with the Hoosier State Instigators, and LB will inbound the ball. Three-pointer as the clock's running down. That doesn't fall in. Had to get the shot off. The shot clock was down to 3 seconds. Unfortunately, it doesn't go. And Spikes with the quick hands knocks the ball out of bounds, and the Legends will inbound it. They throw the ball back. Thought that should have been a backcourt violation or an over and back, but was not called. So Said we'll move on, but Rico gets the steal, so I guess it doesn't matter at the end. Except the ball gets taken from Boyd there. That's a 3-point layup. As we get a delay a game call, I believe. No, they called a foul, so that bucket does not count. And the Instigators will bring it back up. So avoiding disaster there. It could have been a 3-point bucket. Instead, Instigators get a shot off and it doesn't go. We get a foul call there on the Legends, and the Instigators will get the ball out of bounds. So calls going the Instigators' way here, following the worst quarter offensively for them in Instigators history. 16 points, Jake. Followed closely by their second worst quarter of their existence, which was 19 points in the first quarter. So been a rough game offensively, but defensively really valiant. And honestly, the Instigators have held the lead since the second quarter. So, some really gritty basketball being played out there by the boys in white, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. As long as you have more points than the other team, that's how you win the game. So the defense holds up like this, it'll be in the Instigators' favor.
Absolutely. It's not the way we're used to doing it, but a win is a win if we can pull this one out. But I'm sure the Legends have a lot to say about that in the next 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Spike's looking to get the ball into the basket. He kicks it out to Martin, who hit a 3 earlier. He'll go for another one. He hits that one. Someone's come alive. Malcolm Martin with his second 3 of the fourth quarter, both of which needed. And that puts him up to 11 points here in the game. So he gets the rebound there. Kick out to Spike. Spike's looking to add to the 3-point barrage that we've had, which is really 2. But in this game, that's a barrage. That one doesn't go, however. Good block attempt by Rogers, but man, good job by Peterson to get that bucket in. Really good shot by him. And we will hit the under 8 media timeout. So we'll be back right after this. Hey fans, it's Frosty, co-owner of the Hoosier State Instigators. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast, but I want to take just a few seconds to let you know about our fan voter tier on our Patreon. Oh, and we apparently weren't at the media timeout. It looks like we were. But we weren't, and so we're back. Apologies for that, but the only thing you missed was that missed shot there, so not much. As we return to the action, Jake. Wow, I don't know who's at the controls here, Jake, but he's doing a terrible job.
Yeah, you would have thought, maybe the guy saw the game beforehand, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know, that's so weird. Anyway, apologies to the fans for that. This is the media timeout, so we'll return probably after the next commercial, unless I realize I messed up again. So that was indeed a media timeout. Sorry about that again, folks. Instigators up 8, 73-65. Game's kind of hovered between 11 and 8 the entire second half, as we see some fans shooting the ball on the court, something that you don't get in every pro sports league, but you do get here. Nice shot there at some maybe future Instigators and maybe a future Legend as well. But the Instigators up 8. So we'll see how this one finishes out. 7:39 to go in the fourth quarter. Momentum, not really a whole lot of momentum for either team offensively. Defensively played well by both teams, as we've said all game. And we'll see how it goes for this one. The Legends have been in a lot of close games this year. I believe their record is sitting at 2-5, in this season, but a lot of those games were closer than they appear. So those 3 losses. So they're a tough team for sure. And the Instigators are going to have to do everything possible to put them away. As we see, Caleb Magruder checks in for the Instigators. Had a decent first half. And looks to try to help provide a spark of speed, energy, and defense here for the Instigators in the fourth quarter. You see a call for the screen there. He doesn't get it. Instead, he takes matters into his own hands, does Krishan. He puts that one in. Lets the guy know what he thinks about that move that he just pulled off. And the Instigators are back up double digits. And Caleb gets called for the foul there, Magruder. And so the Legends will bring the ball out of bounds. 7 minutes to go. Peterson swings it around. Tough mid-range shot. That doesn't fall. Good job by Boyd to tip that to a teammate and not allow the offensive rebound. He gets rewarded with the ball as he's streaking up the court. He misses that one, but he'll go to the foul line. So if you're a Legends fan, one thing you're a little worried about in this game is that they're already at 5 fouls here with about 7 minutes to go in the game. Once again, after 8, the Instigators go into that bonus. So something you want to look out for if you're a fan of either team. Negatively, if you're a Legends fan, and obviously you're rooting it on if you're an Instigators fan. Good job by Boyd to make the free throw to extend the lead to 11. So we're back up to that 11. He hits the second shot, and the Instigators are up 12, 77 to 65. Foul call there against the Instigators. That's their 4th foul of the quarter. So ditto what I just said for the Legends, but for the Instigators as far as getting into foul trouble. Bellamy, number 12, will go to the line for 2 shots. We wait a shoe tying situation here. A little bit of an equipment malfunction. I tell you, I thought the refs have done a good job in this game. We've on this broadcast as we get a 3D attempt here. So just a second. Peterson drives, looks for somebody here, gets tipped, recovered by the Legends. Back out to Peterson. Peterson for 3. He misses that. That would have been a 4-point shot. Martin gets the ball. He's going to bring it up. No, he'll slow down and wait for some friends. He gets it out to Rico. But what I was saying is, we like to talk about the refs and praise them for good work and criticize them when we disagree. But I think the refs here have done a pretty good job, don't you, Jake?
Yeah, a pretty well called game overall.
And that ball will stay. No, it'll go to the Instigators, and the Legends are not happy about that call, as you can see. And they're discussing it now to see who touched it last. Both referees. We're down a man. I meant to mention. Usually, ABA crews have 3 refs, but due to some scheduling conflicts, they only had 2 refs for this game. So, that's allowed under ABA rules, and I think both refs have done a good job. So, kudos to them. Hats off to them. And the Instigators are going to look here with 1 second to go on the shot clock. They're going to put one up. So that's what the discussion was. They added 1 second to the shot clock. The Legends thought the shot clock had expired, but the referees ruled that it hadn't. It had gone out of bounds with 1 second to go. At the end of the day, it didn't really much make a difference because the Instigators didn't make the basket. It's tough to make a basket on a 1 second shot, but Rico got the shot up. It just didn't fall, unfortunately. Instigators swinging around. Caleb takes it to the top of the key. He's going to dribble it up, and he's going to put that one high off the backboard. Caleb's fast and athletic, Jake, and we saw it there. Legends looking for another 3. Missed that one, but they get the easy rebound. Looked like the Instigators were a little frozen in place there. The Legends get the loose ball, and now we see the trap. And we get a foul call on the Legends. So the Instigators will inbound it here. Five minutes to go left in the game. Instigators up 10, 79-69. Looking to close out and go back up above 500 again this season. Instigators playing tough against a really tough opponent, the Indiana Legends, who blocked that shot. Nice job by Bellamy there to get up. And we'll see what happens. A little bit of discussion going on here. Not quite sure. Whatever the discussion was, it's over. 18 seconds on the shot clock, so it looks like they reset the shot clock inadvertently, so they get that set. So we're at 18 seconds. Ball thrown over the back, and that is an over and back on the Instigators. So a quick throw in here for the Legends as they look to get back to even in this game if they can, as they get a tough shot there. He gets the foul call, and they'll go to the line. That's another one on Magruder, his second since coming in the game. Luckily, he's got some fouls to give, but the Legends will go to the line. The Instigators, I think, commit their fifth foul of the quarter. Still a long way to go. First one falls there. And Harbor will get a second free throw opportunity here. We see the Instigators trying to set up. The Tay Nelson setting up in the corner there, looking for an outlet pass, no doubt. Harbor hits both of them, and they close the gap to the Legends. The Instigators look to answer back, though. Takes the shot there. That doesn't fall. The Legends are going to push the ball back up the court. The Legends have one speed on offense, and it is fast. As Magruder gets the rebound, he gets it out to Rashawn, who then gets fouled. No, okay. The Rico gets it to Magruder. That misses. Instigators up 79-71 as the Legends inbound it quick. Instigators do a good job, though, of getting back, and they slap the ball out of Harbor's hand. It'll stay with the Legends, but good recovery by the Instigators on the quick inbound. See some communication here between the ref and players. We wait for the ball to be inbounded. The assistant coach, it looks like, for the Legends gets the ball, and here we go. Stolen, though, by Magruder. He gets it out to Martin, and then he kicks the ball out of Martin's hands somehow. So good and bad there from Magruder, who has 2 fouls and a turnover since coming into the game, but also some really athletic plays, including a steal and a layup off the glass. So you get your good and your bad with the rookie, as Rico Spikes gets the rebound on the Legends miss, and Malcolm Martin will bring the ball up. He's looking for Nelson quick. He gets him. Nelson puts the ball in the hoop. The Instigators score a quick bucket there. Tough shot attempted there by Turrentine. He doesn't make it. That goes out of bounds, and so the Instigators will get the ball here. But we're going to hit our final media timeout, unless I'm wrong. But our final media timeout, we'll be back right after this with the rest of the Instigators basketball game here on the Instigators YouTube channel.
Mission 22 is dedicated to unite the country in the war against veteran suicide. Bringing our veterans home is every American's job. Ambassadors are creating impact in their community across the country. Mission 22 has comprehensive treatment programs for post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury at no cost to veterans. This is an American issue. No matter where you stand, there's a place for your support. Visit mission22.com to learn more.
Thank you to our sponsor, Mission 22, as well as all of our other sponsors, including Evolve International, as well as Shep's Quality Construction and Fisher's Cryotherapy, and Ryan Lutz State Farm, as well as niceapparel.com. So thank you again to all of our sponsors. Thank you to all the viewers, as we look to finish off what's been an exciting game. Also, Center Bank, thank you for being a sponsor as well. Not sure if we mentioned them, but thank you, Center Bank. Happy to have you as a sponsor in the Stites family. So let's get this going. Let's reset a little bit. JoJo Hart is in the game. He comes in to help the Instigators get some reinforcements here. Krishan will inbound the ball. Inbounds it to JoJo Hart. Goes back to Krishan, gets it over the half-court line. Magruder with the attempt. That falls short. And the Legends look to run a little bit. Again, though, the Instigators do a great job of getting back. No easy basket. No easy path to the court as Magruder gets the steal there. He gets it. Hart cleans it up. He goes to Martin, and Martin gets the basket. Instigators up 12, 83-71. Here with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. That shot's off by Reed, and the Instigators and Caleb Magruder rebound it. Caleb has had his ups and downs in this game, Jake, so far. As we get a 7-second violation, that'll be a 3D rule for the Legends, who inbound it quick. Good defense, though, by JoJo Hart to knock it out of his hands. Again, the Instigators not allowing any easy buckets in transition, which has been the key to this defense, which has been by far the best defensive performance in Instigators history. Short history, though it is. As it looks like we have a spot of moisture there. Either that or everyone's comparing their step dance moves, Jake. Foul on the Legends. That's an offensive foul, and the Instigators will get the ball back. And it looks like it's going to be a technical foul. So the Instigators won't get the ball back, but it will be a technical foul. 2 free throws for the Instigators. Second technical called. I believe this one on the coach of the Legends. So the Instigators will take their 2 free throws, and then we'll resume game play as normal. JoJo Hart misses the first one. Instigators really struggling, Jake, with the free throws. And JoJo misses the second one. So that's 4 technical shot free throws missed by the Instigators in this game. Again, in a close game. 2:43 to go. The Legends will get the ball. That ball nearly stolen by the Instigators. Instead, they tip it out of bounds. The Legends will get another shot at it. 3-point attempt by the Legends. That doesn't fall, and Martin gets the rebound. He'll get it over to Krishan. He'll get it back to Martin, who then threw it away. That's a 3D attempt there for the Legends. They go up for it. It doesn't go, though. Krishan with the rebound. He'll go back up to Malcolm Martin. So no harm there on the turnover. And the Instigators will look to go back to work. Vontae Nelson with the miss, but he gets the offensive rebound, something he's done well all night. He'll take the shot. That doesn't fall. And the Legends look to continue to push the tempo. They do there. I believe that was a 3-pointer. We're looking to see the call really quick, but under 2 minutes to go now. Ball kicked out to JoJo. We get a timeout by the Instigators. So we'll also take a timeout and catch the continuation of this game.
After a tough game, recovery is everything. At Fisher's Cryotherapy, the official cryotherapy provider for the Hoosier State Instigators, I use whole body cryo to reduce inflammation and recover faster. For injuries, their targeted treatments get me back in action. And when I want to look and feel my best, the cryofacial and infrared sauna do the trick. Fisher's Cryotherapy, my go-to for recovery. Book your session today.
Here we go. Minute 46 to go. Instigators up 9, 83-74. Looking good for the under 100 for defense. Looking bad for the over 100 on offense, Jake.
Yeah, it looks like we may have a couple of firsts here for the Instigators.
Let's just hope that both of those firsts result in a win. As we see, it looks like Captain America has come in for Caleb Magruder. I think that's a good call. Captain America's had a really good game so far. So we're looking to see what Cap can do. So Steve Rogers, number 20 in the game down here in the left-hand corner of your screen. So moving the inbound point of the ball because the Instigators didn't call a full timeout. They called the 20-second timeout, which doesn't advance the ball in the ABA. Martin brings it up. Boyd with the miss, a rare miss around the hoop for Boyd. And the Legends are going to bring the ball up off the rebound. Kick out and the bucket. Legends bring the score back to a single-digit score. Inbound to Martin. Martin goes up with it. He hits that one to make it a 9-point game. Legends with a quick outlook pass, though, however, and they hit the... Is it a 2 or a 3 here? Referee's getting together to decide if his foot was on the line or not. I'll tell you, it looked like his foot was on the line to me. I don't know about you, Jake. They mark it a 3, however. It was close, hard to tell. The referees made the call based off what they saw. So that's a 3-pointer. And then you get the steal by the Legends and the foul. So they'll go to the line for 3. And the wheels seem to be falling off a little bit here for the Instigators. And the Legends have really stepped up the pressure and are looking to claw back into this game and potentially tie it or even take the lead with a few more plays like that.
Yeah, and the Legends are one of those teams, like the pros we mentioned, they just never give up. So, I mean, we got a minute or so left in the game, but you can tell they know they've still got a chance here to walk away with a victory.
Yeah, absolutely. The number 00 Reed will take these shots here. 3 shots for the Instigator or for the Legends. I'm sorry, against the Instigators. The first one falls. The referees are discussing how many free throws are left, and they confirm it is 2 free throws left. It's a 3D rule, so they get 3 free throws here, folks. They hit that one. And the third. So he hits all 3 free throws. So that's 6 points here in the last 5 seconds or so of game clock. As both teams now are in the the Instigators are in the bonus. They're up 3, 85-82 with 52 seconds to go. So it was 9 points, less than 15 seconds to go, 15 seconds ago, but now it's 3. The Instigators miss. Rogers with the tough reverse doesn't go in, and the Legends look to make it a close game. They look to tie it here. They miss, going for the tip in. They get the offensive rebound. They're going to take it out, and they call timeout. 27 seconds to go. 3-point game.
Hey, it's Jakey Muffins here in warm and sunny Florida, but there's no place I'd rather be than at Best Choice Fieldhouse in Fishers, Indiana for the next Hoosier State Instigators home game. You can go over to www.apexofsports.com, click on the tickets link at the top of the page, and get your game tickets for our next home game. We have 3 and 5 game packages as well to help save yourself some money. I hope to see you at the next home game, and when you're there, be sure, as always, to be great and instigate.
All right, Jake, 27 seconds to go. Legends have the ball down 3. They don't have to go for 3 right away. They could get a quick 2 and foul here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got the Instigators in the bonus, so it is to the Legends' advantage on that end because it helps save some time if they go for the shot and then the foul opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, but we know how well the Instigators have shot the free throw in the second half. It's almost to the advantage of to the Legends, just because you don't have full faith in the Instigators hitting both free throws, even if it comes to that situation. So for me, the Instigators need to get a stop here, need to hold them to 0 to really give themselves a little bit of a breather here, because then, obviously you have to foul if you're the Legends, and the Instigators only have to hit 1 of 2 to get it to not a 2 possession game, because you can shoot a 4-pointer from beyond half court, but definitely make the job harder for the Legends. So important, the most important defensive possession for the Instigators right here of the game. Inbound here, we got 24 seconds to go. Legends do go for the quick 2. And a charging call. JoJo Hart draws the charge on number 13, and the Legends turn the ball over with 20 seconds to go. What a play by JoJo Hart there to stick his chest out and draw the foul. Instigators got to get the inbound here. They throw it deep. Saved by LB, and then Caleb Magruder gets the bucket to put the Instigators up 5 with just a handful of seconds to go. Timeout called with 10 seconds to go. So the Legends looking to draw up a play. The coach clearly unhappy, thought that the ball was out of bounds. LB saves it, however. Gets the ball to Magruder, who has had, as I've said earlier, an up and down night. But he gets the basket when it's needed. Instigators up 5. And what's even better about that, right? Instigators up 5 is now it is a 2-possession game, unless some crazy thing happens around a 4-point shot and a foul. So I guess there's still life there. But otherwise, Instigators look to be pulling away with this one. 5-point lead. 10 seconds to go. What a sequence there, Jake.
Yeah, definitely. And that pass down court, that also helped run a bit of the time off of the clock for the Instigators.
Yeah, it's risky there, right? Because if LB doesn't save that ball, it's a 3D opportunity for the Legends.
Absolutely.
So a risky pass attempt, but it worked out for the Instigators in that instance. Great athleticism by the 2 rookies, LB and Magruder, to get that bucket in and to save the ball. So kudos to them on what might be the play of the game to seal the game for the Instigators. So what's important here, though, at 10 seconds goes, the Instigators don't foul in the backcourt. They don't, and the Legends get called. There's a foul there, so the Legends will go to the free throw line, I believe, with 6 seconds to go. No, it'll be an inbound. They're not in the bonus. That's the first foul in under 2 minutes. So the Legends will inbound here with 6 seconds to go. And they call a foul on the 3-point shot. So the Legends will get 3 shots here with 2.9 seconds to go on the clock. There's some discussion on whether or not that's the right amount of time on the clock. So it appears that an adjustment will be made. They're discussing. Nope, 2.9 seconds is where we're at. So Peterson with 3 free throw attempts here. So once again, the Legends with just a little bit of life left, Jake. They're going to have to go Reggie Miller if they want to win this game, though.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because you'll have to see how this first free throw winds up landing. So he knocks that one down. With the score, they may want to consider missing that last free throw so they can get an opportunity for a rebound.
So he only got 2. Apparently he was over the line. They're going to foul Wilburn there. Or I'm sorry, he's wearing Wilburn's number 2, but that is Krishan. 1.7 seconds to go. So the Instigators walk to the other end of the court to shoot 2 free throws here. Hard fought game, but it looks like the Instigators are going to pull it out, Jake. They put 2.4 seconds back on the clock, so no time off the clock. Instigators up 3. Make it 4. So now you need a half-court shot to tie it up if you're the Legends. So that's 5, and we'll get one last timeout by the Legends. It's going to take a miracle here to get 5 points. Biggest thing if you're an Instigator, you got to be saying in that huddle, do not foul. Do not foul. Because the last thing that could put this game back to a tie is, again, a 4-point beyond half-court shot that goes in and 1 opportunity. That's a long shot, but it could happen. So if you're the Instigators, the number one thing you have to say is do not foul. Generally, if it's the NBA, you think of different foul situations, but here you just got to be careful.
Yeah, and definitely a shout out there to Krishan. In his first game here, hitting 2 crucial free throws at the end of the game here for the Instigators.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll get the inbound here by the Legends. You're looking for your best half-court shooter here. If you remember the rule, it's hard to say if the coaches or the players remember the rule. This is one of the few unique ABA rules. Looks like they do. He's going to take the shot, and it misses. So the Instigators pull off the game. 89-84, Instigators victory. We're going to take a quick commercial break, then we're going to break it down all the action when we come back. Hey fans, it's Frosty, co-owner of the Hoosier State Instigators. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast, but I want to take just a few seconds to let you know about our fan voter tier on our Patreon. There you can find all kinds of cool stuff like behind the scenes footage of practices and tryouts, early access to games and podcasts, and much, much more. On top of that, you become an official fan voter of the Hoosier State Instigators, where you can make key decisions in running the franchise. Things such as what uniforms do we wear, who stays, who goes at the end of the season, evaluate the players and coaches, and make decisions that will impact this franchise for a long time. So this is your chance to get off the bleachers and into the boardroom with us, the Hoosier State Instigators, at www.patreon.com Apex Athletic Collective. Hope to see you there. All right, Jake, back to the studio apartment. We just saw one of the most, in my opinion, interesting Instigators basketball games, maybe in history. What's your take on that game?
Yeah, it's definitely, if you look at the box score, it's going to be one of the most unique box scores ever for Instigators, and I think that's going to hold true for a long time.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first thing that pops out, something we've kept our eye on for a while now, for our whole entirety of the Instigators' existence, is this is the first game we've held an opponent under 100 points. But it also happens to be we also scored under 100 points. Great defensive effort. And ultimately that was the difference, is our defense was able to keep us in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. If I were to say one good thing about the offense, which I feel I should do, it's the distribution of the scoring. So we had Malcolm Martin led the team in scoring with 15. Then it was Avante Nelson with 12, as well as I think Lawrence Boyd as well had 12, and then you had 11 from Magruder and Rogers. So the young guns led the scoring there for the most part. Distributed the ball well. Lots of guys scored, which is good to see. But to your point, even more importantly, that was great defensively by the Instigators. It wasn't, we've seen teams that have struggled to score against the Instigators for parts of a game where they're just missing. And we definitely saw that for a little bit during this game, but for the most part, the Legends were taking contested shot after contested shot, bodies on them the entire time, making it very difficult to score. So more than anything, what I like about that, 82-point score or whatever it was, 82, is that the or 84, I'm sorry, the Instigators, it felt like it was a result of the Instigators defense, not just missed shots as we've seen in the past. So kudos to the defense. Offensively, we got to figure it out. Obviously we know we're missing a lot of key pieces, missing Dame, missing Dylan in particular. Those two are keys to our offense. Dame with assists and scoring, Dylan with, just everything, honestly, rebounding, assists, scoring, steals. So, hopefully we get those guys back soon. I know for a fact that Dame will be back next week. Dylan is still undecided on his status. So we'll see how that goes. But meanwhile, we saw some guys step up and play a really good basketball game on both ends of the court. So, congratulations. As you said, all it takes to win a basketball game is score one more point than the other team. We did that ×5 today. So congratulations to the Instigators. Meanwhile, the matchup that you and I know have been waiting for this entire season is coming up on Saturday. We're going to get in our house against the Hoosier State Instigators, the litmus test in the ABA right now, the Chicago Fury, the defending, undisputed, undefeated, #1 in the country, returning champs, defending champs, in our house. How excited are you for that game?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, this is our second season, second time we were able to say we're playing the defending champions. Last season we played the Lions, who were the defending champions, but we're playing the Fury. They're undefeated. They're still riding on that hot streak they rode at the end of last season. And power rankings, they're #1. So this is really the ultimate test to see where we stand in the ABA currently.
Absolutely. And it's a key game, not just because it's defending champions, but because we are now in their division, right? So this is a divisional matchup. It's the first time we're going to face them. We're third in the division right now at 4-3. Second, with only 2 losses, is the Southland Saints, a team that we beat pretty handily twice last year, but are much improved this year. And then the Chicago Fury at #1. So as we're looking toward playoff seeding, as we're looking toward getting kind of that home court advantage potentially in the playoffs, what we're looking at is a key divisional game, and it just so happens to be against the best team in the country for the last 2 years. So I can't wait to see. What I do know, I've watched a lot of Fury games. They shoot the three really well, and so we have to defend that better than we have in any game in the past. I'm excited. I hope everyone else is excited. Get to Best Choice Fieldhouse on Saturday at 7:30 and watch us take on the defending champions and maybe pull an upset. Let's see us pull an upset. I'm calling it now. Instigators by 5 are going to win that game. It's going to be a high scoring game. But I can't wait to see it. Any last thoughts before we check out for the night, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, just another shout out to our young guys, the rookies. They really kind of pulled through at this game and helped us finish out. We saw Steve in that first half, especially a couple of big shots from Malcolm down the stretch here in the fourth, and then the two crucial free throws at the end for Krishan. But overall, if we can have that defense carry over into this week, I think that could be a big difference. Obviously, offensively, we've got to improve, but we saw every time we've played a big opponent, we've been able to step up. I think it'll be a very close game this weekend against the Chicago Fury.
That's right. So make sure you check it out. Best Choice Fieldhouse. Doors open at 6:30. $10 adult, $5 for kids. We'll see you there. But until next time, be great, instigate. We'll see you then.